1.77 trillion, that's not the GDP of a superpower, that's the astronomical price tag humanity is set to torch on getting buzzed in 2024. But that's not even a horror story. Still picturing an alcoholic as some homeless guy stumbling around? Dead wrong. The chilling reality is that 50% of America's booze hounds are actually rocking designer suits and sitting in executive chairs. They are invisible addicts, masters of self-deception, who tell themselves, "I'm making bank, I'm doing fine." But make no mistake, that expensive glass of wine to take the edge off every night, it is the world's softest, deadliest trap. Your successful friends? They might be silently rotting from the inside out right this second. Don't blink. Because what I'm about to reveal about how alcohol ravages your body will send shivers down your spine, truths that never make the headlines. It arrives at every party like a celebrity guest, dressed in the sparkling disguise of a social lubricant. Humanity has long worshipped alcohol, revering it as the elixir of the gods, a magical potion capable of turning a dull gathering into a legendary night. But strip away the clinking glasses and the laughter, and a terrifying truth remains: this godly nectar is actually a wolf in sheep's clothing. So why, knowing the harm it causes, do people continue to consume alcohol? It's a curious paradox. It's as if we willingly walk into a lion's den, knowing the danger, but somehow still unable to resist the allure of the comfort it offers. Ethanol, the main ingredient in alcohol, acts as a silent saboteur. When consumed, it binds to receptors in the brain, particularly neurotransmitters like glutamate. This interaction slows the brain's response to stimuli, giving that familiar feeling of drunkenness. It's like a dimmer switch, slowly lowering the lights in your brain until everything becomes fuzzy and detached. Once alcohol enters the body, it doesn't just sit idly by, it gets to work immediately. The liver, our body's detox champion, steps up to filter and process the ethanol. But here's the kicker. The liver can only handle a small amount at a time. It's like a factory trying to process too many orders at once. Eventually, the system becomes overwhelmed. If you drink too quickly or too much, the liver is swamped and the body bears the brunt of it. What follows is a chaotic mix of drunkenness, fatigue, and nausea. Your body, like a car engine running on too much fuel, begins to sputter and struggle, unable to keep up with the demand. The real shocker is that alcohol isn't just slowing the brain down, it's also doing long-term damage. It's like a slow erosion, gradually wearing away at the structures that keep us functioning normally. The hangovers the next day are just the beginning. Alcohol's toll is cumulative, building up over time. The more you drink, the greater the strain on your body's systems, and the greater the likelihood of experiencing the destructive consequences that follow. It begs the question, why continue to embrace something that is so obviously harmful? It's a classic case of short-term pleasure colliding with long-term pain. People continue to drink, despite knowing the risks, because alcohol has become deeply ingrained in our social fabric. The American dream is currently drowning in a very expensive liquid, and the statistics read like a horror script. It is a national catastrophe that claims over 140,000 lives annually, effectively wiping out a mid-sized city every single year. But who exactly is holding the glass? With 134.3 million Americans imbibing, nearly half the population is participating in this risky ritual. However, the most chilling revelation hides within the workforce. A staggering 19.8% of full-time employees are drinking, suggesting that the economy is running on buzzes and hangovers. But here comes the real plot twist. The face of addiction isn't who you think it is. The data shows that high earners making over $75,000 are actually the ones drinking the most frequently. It seems success often comes with a liver tax. While men are leading this tragic race with 7% suffering from alcohol use disorder, AUD, compared to 4% of women, the collective toll is astronomical. With 29 million people diagnosed with AUD, the country is footing a bill of at least $249 billion a year. We are essentially paying a fortune to poison ourselves, and somehow, nobody is blinking an eye. We often picture alcoholics as the stereotypical failures, yelling at their kids or passing out on a street corner, living lives of chaos. But a surprising study in the US reveals a shocking truth. 50% of alcoholics fly under the radar. So, who are these people? They're successful middle-aged professionals, young, promising individuals with bright futures. They don't display the typical rebellious behavior. They fulfill all their obligations, yet they're silently battling a dangerous dependency. These are the high-functioning alcoholics. They don't fit the classic image of an addict. In fact, they appear to have it all together, managing their careers, relationships, and responsibilities. But they drink an average of 4 beers a day, an alarming but hidden habit. In the US, the standard for risky drinking is lower than most people think. For men, it's 15 drinks per week. For women, it's 8. Just a few beers, a couple of glasses of wine, and you're already stepping into dangerous territory. Modern life is full of stress. We drink when we're anxious, when we're sad, and sometimes even when we're happy. Alcohol becomes a temporary anesthetic, numbing the sharp edges of reality. It dulls the brain's decision-making center, the prefrontal cortex, and makes everything feel just a little bit easier to bear. But the real trick is its ability to release endorphins, the feel-good hormones that make us feel connected and alleviate social anxiety. It's a quick fix, a way to silence the noise in our heads. For those under constant pressure, whether it's a stay-at-home mum juggling kids or a high-stakes businessman trying to keep it all together, alcohol becomes a solution. But while it might feel like relief, it's also a slippery slope. With each drink, they slip further into the grip of addiction, all while maintaining the appearance of control. This paradox of high-functioning alcoholism is what makes it so dangerous. They may look fine on the outside, but inside, they're being consumed. The question is, how long can they keep up the act before it all comes crashing down? When does a habit cross the line into addiction? The boundary is dangerously blurry, much like the fine line between pleasure and pain. Let's dive into the biology of it. Alcohol is not just a social beverage. It's a biological weapon crafted by yeast to eliminate competing bacteria. When alcohol enters the body, it turns into acetaldehyde, an even more toxic substance that damages DNA and cells. Alcohol doesn't discriminate. It infiltrates almost every tissue in the body because it's soluble in both water and fat. Alcohol shrinks neurons, severing the connections between them, leading to cognitive decline, memory loss, and an increased risk of dementia. It's as if the brain is slowly being unplugged from its power source, and the lights are dimming one neuron at a time. Now, here's where things get even more sinister. Why don't high-functioning alcoholics realize they're sick? The problem begins in the liver, where alcohol sets up camp. Early-stage fatty liver disease shows no symptoms, so they continue on with their daily lives, seemingly unaffected. Meanwhile, their liver is quietly swelling, slowly deteriorating, inching toward irreversible cirrhosis. After 10 years, they've unknowingly signed up for a lifetime of damage. Alcohol is responsible for at least 8 types of cancer, including breast cancer in women. The scariest part? The risk begins to climb with as little as 1 drink per day. There's no safe level. The truth is, no amount of alcohol is completely harmless. Yet people continue to drink, unaware of the ticking time bomb inside them. The body is whispering warnings, but the party keeps going, and the consequences are often only realized when it's too late. Have you ever thought about quitting alcohol? It's a question that many might laugh off, but the effects of stopping drinking are nothing short of remarkable and sometimes a little scary. The journey begins just hours after the last sip, and what happens next is a transformation you might not expect. In the first 6 to 12 hours after stopping drinking, the body begins to heal itself, starting with the immune system. It's like hitting the reset button, though the body is still dealing with the aftermath of years of abuse. The real change begins within 1 to 3 days of quitting alcohol. That's when withdrawal symptoms show up, and they're not pretty. Shaking, cold sweat, increased heart rate, nausea, and anxiety. Imagine your body is going through an emotional break from alcohol, and things won't go smoothly for the first few days. But then, something magical happens. Your blood pressure starts to drop, and the feeling of reduced stress appears almost immediately. Some people even start to lose their cravings for junk food, and hold on, some will begin to shed a few pounds since they're no longer consuming those empty calories from alcohol. The benefits don't stop there. In the long run, quitting alcohol leads to significant improvements in mental health. What's even more surprising is that those who stop drinking often find themselves with extra cash. Money they would have spent on alcohol can now go towards something useful, like a car deposit or even a vacation. Choosing to quit or even just reduce alcohol consumption is not just a fleeting trend. It's a long-term decision that brings real benefits. A healthier liver, improved heart health, a sharper mind, and a reduced risk of cancer are just a few of the perks. And beyond the physical, the social and financial gains are undeniable. Stop making liquor companies richer and start investing in your brain by hitting subscribe right now.